What is good, family? Renee Box Young. We are going live today once again. Greetings and salutations to the whole community. I hope everyone's doing great, man. We have a great show lined up today, man. Some interesting stuff. A special treat for you guys. Because you y'all been rocking with me. You know what I mean? And I've been having a ball. You know what I mean? Recently, y'all caught me probably on Blue Blood. You know what I mean? Salute to Blue Blood. We got Curtis Anderson constantly coming on. Reggie Owens. We got another show planned for tomorrow to talk a little boxing. You know what I mean? But really special treat today, man. We got a gamer here, Ogden, who has something interesting to share with you guys, man. So you guys got to tune in. Thank you. I already see people. Someone's jumping in the building already. I thank you guys so much for jumping in. And we got Ogden in the building. How you doing, Ogden? How's your day going?
Hey man, I'm doing terrific, man. Thank you for asking, man. And it's been a wonderful day, a little bit of not sunshine, but a little rain outside. But other than that, man, it's going, man. Thank you for asking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
On our bro Ogden, man. He's a gamer. He has a YouTube channel, but something interesting with his background, man. He's going to share something, with his concerning his he was a pro boxer, man. He was a pro boxer. He loves the sport of boxing, man, and he's going to tell us a little bit of his background, of his experiences in the sport of boxing. And something interesting. He has some interesting experiences. We chopped it up before already. I got to know him, because I like gaming. I'm a gamer at heart. I like playing games, man, ever since I was a kid. So, I like watching gaming channels. But something interesting with Ogden, like I said, man, he's a gamer. He has his own channel, and he was a pro boxer, man. We chopped it up, and he has shared some interesting things. And I want you guys to hear it. It sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I'm excited, man. So I want you guys to hear what he has to share with you all. And I got so many questions for him. So Ogden, go ahead, man. You can start from the beginning, bro. How did you
Okay.
get into this? How did you get in the sport of boxing and all that stuff?
Okay. How you guys doing? Ogden Knight here. First of all, I started boxing at a very young age. I started at the age of 9, to be honest with you. Stepped into a gym, was called the Marshall White Center out here, and just looking around, scoping things out, seeing people hit the bag, in the ring, shadow boxing, even people sparring, and I started taking a liking to it. Just watched it for a minute. So I went home, talked to my mom and dad. Hey, mom, hey, dad, I would like to put the gloves on. Like, no, boy, you too young, you're too tiny, because I was a little tiny, and as time went by, I just kept going back to the gym, watching and watching. And one day I put the gloves on. Besides what my mom and dad said, don't box, but I took it upon myself to say, hey, I want to put these gloves on, and I want to do what they're doing over here. So I did that, and being that I was in school, had little bullies in school, never knew how to fight. So I put those gloves on and I went and punched the bag, right? I was all over the place. So a guy came to me and he says, son, you need to learn how to throw punches. His name was Bill Lyons. And he taught me how to throw a jab. He taught me how to throw a left hook. After a while, I started getting fast with it, like left, right, or left, yeah, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, or something like that. So in time, I didn't feel really comfortable jabbing with my left hand. So I asked him if I could switch. So I switched over. So I started throwing the right hand with the right jab, and then right jab, and then the left straight. And I started liking this. The routine I got in a good routine with it. It was like jab, jab, straight, jab, jab, straight. So I ran home after that day and I told my mom, guess what, mom, I learned how to box. She said, boy, you hard headed, this and that. But she signed the paper. Make a long story short, she signed the paper and I was happy. And then as time went by, there was another coach that came in there, and his name was Roger Polito. May he rest in peace. He was a great coach, right? And as the time went by, I was, just getting in the rhythm with that right, right, left, right, right, left. And he just took a liking to me. He says, son, come up in this ring with me. I want to show you some combinations. Stepped in the ring. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with, it's called a 666 combination. This was the first combination I've learned in boxing. very effective. 666 combination requires you to throw 2 punches upstairs, then 2 punches downstairs, and then 2 punches back upstairs. That throws your opponent completely off, especially if you have quick hands and you're accurate. So we was in the rhythm with the 1-2, 1-2 up, back upstairs, downstairs, back upstairs. Okay. And I thought that was all about boxing. I thought that's how you box. Like, oh, I'm boxing, like, So I went home, felt good, you know what I'm saying? As time went by, they said, hey, do you want to fight? Do I want to fight? I said, I thought I was already fighting. I'm young. We're going to put on the gloves, you're going to put on the headgear, and you're going to punch somebody else. You guys are going to fight each other. Now I'm nervous, right? So, that's nervous. When you're stepping into the ring to box somebody else, you get really nervous, and that's probably a good thing. So yeah, that first fight, I threw the 666 combination, and I won. I won that fight. I didn't knock him out or anything, but we just went the rounds. Went home, got that first shot, first trophy. It felt so amazing to win a first trophy. Okay, so after that, I just started just winning all these amateur fights, like bringing home all these trophies, and my mom was happy. She used to always tell me, son, you're gonna be somebody. You're gonna be a professional, or you're great. You keep doing what you're doing, and it just encouraged me to go back to the gym. I went on to win 365 fights. Only lost 17 of those fights. I become the 5-time Golden Gloves champion. I became a 3 times national champion. I became a 2 times national champion. And then the only thing about the nationals, like I won the nationals twice, and then I had a shot at the Olympics. Had a shot at Olympics, and then this is how I think about it. When I beat their fighter, when I beat that guy from Salt Lake City, I beat him. I beat him fair and square. This was the shot for the Olympics. I beat him fair and square. So I advanced to the Olympics. They says, wait over here by the martial white at 5:30 in the morning. We're gonna pick you up. And this as time went by. This is all in a time. Went outside the martial white. Well, when I left my apartment, went over to the gym because I live right across the street from the gym. Waited. I was there at 5:30 and waited until what? I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. No one even came and got me. So they left me. And that made me feel like, oh my goodness, all this work I've done, and it hurt me. It's like, man, I had a shot. I mean, I could have been to the Olympics. They left me, like they took off on me, but it didn't stop me. So after that, I just kept winning fights and trophies. And Roger Polito came up to me. He says, as I got older, this is all in time phrases, guys. As I got older, I started getting really good at boxing. People coming to me, man, you're a bad boxer. You're this and you're that. You're a southpaw. You do backflips. I do backflips in the ring, guys. When I won, I did a backflip. I like to entertain the viewers, like entertain the audience. Is what I'm trying to say. The judges. I'm trying to impress everybody around me. Like I'm a good boxer, but I got talent. I can do backflips. I can, like show love, And Roger came up to me and he says, here, check this out. He goes, you're Hitman. He gave me the name Hitman. I said, I like that. He says, well, here, Hitman, here's a contract. He says, you want to turn? No, here's an application. We're going to turn you pro. And my eyeballs got so big, like professional, like pro, yeah, pro. He says, but you got to stay in the gym. Stay in the gym, Hitman, and you get good, and you'll go places. So yeah, I did that. Me and Roger, we still worked that 666, and he passes away, right? God rest his soul. The man passes away, and it kind of like when you have a good coach like that, and your coach passes away, like what I mean, it kind of like there's no other coach that can replace him.
Hey, Ogden, real
There's
quick.
no other. Yeah.
Quick question. Roger who?
Yeah. His name was Roger Polito.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
he passed away, and then it kind of like, kind of like a downhill feeling, like, man, like there is no other coach who's gonna train me like him. You know what I mean? But I kept what he taught me in my head. You know what I mean? I learned all the combinations and I kept them. So that first professional fight that I took, the weight class was at 135 pounds. I was weighing 145 pounds. I believe I had a week and a half before the fight, and I had to lose 10 pounds. Not knowing that this weight is going to kill me. What I mean? If I would have known then what I knew now, I would never ever took the fight at such a low class. You know what I mean? But I was so excited because I knew that I had the skill, what it took to get in there, throw a 666 combination, move around the ring, make my opponent miss, catch him with a counter, throw a 45 with stuff like that, right? But that wasn't the case. Got in there at 135 pounds, okay, and I felt weak. Like, not only felt weak, I felt drained.
Right.
Round one, bang, we get in there, and I just didn't feel like the fighter that I was when I was fighting in the amateur, because it's a totally different experience. The guy was throwing jabs from like different type of angles. It was kind of hard for me to slip his punch, getting caught, got knocked down a couple of times, and I lost that fight. I'm not ashamed to say I lost my first pro debut. Like, and then I was like, okay, I got to suck that up. There's like, man, people come to you. Some people criticize you. Some people, they give you love, and they say to me, you're a good fighter. It looks like you were a little tired. You're gassed. I was like, hey, man, I went from 145 to 135 in a week and a half. But you know what I mean? What could I say? I went in there and I put forth what I had to offer, and I lost the fight. So I said, you know what? I'm never going to do that again. And guys, I went over there and I stayed at 145. Okay, and boxing got good to me. The pro game got to me. I won the second pro fight. Then I won another pro fight, and then like in between getting training and trying to get a manager, a promoter, a cut man, and all this stuff. You need these type of things as a boxer. You know what I mean? No one's just gonna come up to you and take you under their wing. I mean, they scout. You got scouts that's watching you, whatnot.
Yeah.
So and to be honest with you guys, I really trained myself as a professional. I have my girl, my baby. You know what I mean? She was always by my side from day one, from day one since she met me. And I started running into different type of promoters, like shady promoters. Like, they was only in it for the to money. Like, do you want to go fight? We got this contract over here. You sign a contract. Okay, boom. But it's like you're pumped up, and at the same time you're scared. You don't know. You don't really know what you're doing. We don't have the manager, a coach, or someone in your corner for that matter. It was just me and my baby. We'll go sign contracts. That we got to fight for you here, man. Okay, cool. Who am I fighting? You're fighting so and so. What's the weight? 140. I said, okay, 140. But they're always caught me like in like 2 weeks. Like they like scouted me. Is he in the gym, or is he doing his work in the gym? And I'll be in the gym, but like I said, I lost a coach. Kind of, I lost a coach, and then still till this day, kind of, I wish he was here. You
Oh,
know
hold
what I
on,
mean?
Ogden, real quick. Can I jump in real fast?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so because the people are jumping in the building right now, man. We got people watching and viewing. Thank you guys so much, man. Bruce Goes, D Hodges, Christina. Thanks so much, Derek Bailey, Curtis Anderson, the historian, man. Y'all, Tone Brown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. There's a couple questions, bro. So let me just go back just a little bit, all right, Ogden? Let me just go back just a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
People are asking, who's this boxer? What's his record? And let me just, just for the record, just when we started, he used to fight. He's from what I understand, right, Ogden? You're not a pro fighter anymore, right?
No, I'm not a pro fighter. Well, I'm active. I'm still active, but like I said, the promotion, man. I can get to that in a minute, but no, I'm not. I just don't box. What I do was before all this craziness happened, I was in the gym training kids. Is what I was doing. So I was actually heading toward being a boxer mentor. Teaching kids something that I was taught, and it was working. It was going, and then this craziness happened, and then everything kind of went to a halt. So
okay,
as
so
of right now,
yeah,
go ahead.
as of right now, what's up?
As of right now, I'm still active as far as I know. I just haven't boxed in a while. The last time I fought anybody was probably 3.5 years ago, to be
Oh,
honest with
gotcha,
you. But
gotcha,
like I
gotcha.
said, So
Yeah.
yeah,
And when did you start? When did you start your amateur career? You said you had how many fights? 300 something? How many fights?
365 amateur fights, and I only lost 17 of them.
And you got a man, you got a man, a lot of accolades in the amateur career, in your amateur
Yes,
career.
sir.
Then unfortunately, just for those who are jumping in, Soccer Training Club, I see you, bro. Hamza S, thank you so much. Saludos, hermano. Thank you guys so much, man, for jumping in. So okay, you had the shot at the Olympics, and then they didn't pick you up to go to the Olympics, unfortunately. And then ever since then, you started a pro fighting, and from what we understand right now, is that okay, so you were labeled Hitman, right?
Yes,
From
sir.
your former trainer, who rest in peace, your coach who passed away, Roger. What was his last name?
Roger Polito.
Roger Polito. And so
Yeah,
what happened here now is what we're hearing is that you started just going without a manager. So there were
yeah,
scouts. Okay, so there were scouts checking you out in the gym. Your reputation obviously was out there because is out there because of your amateur career and stuff like that. So people were scouting you, and then they would come up to you, sign this contract. We got to fight for you, and it was constantly what, a couple weeks notice only, right?
yeah. It was like a couple weeks notice. Like, I mean, they wouldn't. Some of the promoters wouldn't be. It'll just be a phone call. Like, it'd be like, okay, Robinson, you want to fight? Who do you want to fight? This and that, right? Okay, you want to
Right,
fight? Yeah, I would like to fight. Who am I fighting? And then they'll say the person, the name. And like I said, the weight 140 was cool. Like, and then, like I said, I went I lost the pro debut fight. Sorry, won the second fight, and then I went and lost the third fight. And then I started getting ranking up all these losers, like all these losses,
right, right,
only because it's the promotion. Like, I could have like I could have went somewhere different with the promotion, but my girl, she was all, told me, watch out for these different type of guys, because it seems to me that they're just trying to get their money. They're not looking out for you. They want you to fight this person. Like, let's take this for instance. Okay, I had a one promoter, and he passed away. His name was Bob Olson.
yeah,
He was a great promoter. Okay, he would make sure that he would send a contract. He would tell me, "Here, man, we have something for you. This is the weight class. This is where the fight's going to be. This is what we can do for you." It wasn't, you know, beating around the bush. It was on a professional level. You know what I
right.
mean? He would make sure that the itinerary tickets for me and my baby to get there, he would make sure everything was laid out on the table. He would make sure the fight was legit, like a great fight. So I took that one. I was like, oh man, and I did find one. Like I said, I found a promoter, and he would work my corner. He would have even people like the cut man and the corner man. I felt good about that. I was like, oh, finally I found it. I'm here. I'm there. I'm back. Like, and then I won that fight, and it was in the Emerald's Queen Casino in Seattle, Washington. The guy's name was Beto Garcia. I fought him, and we fought to the end and got a draw. I don't know why they gave that. I don't know why we got a draw. I should have won that fight because I knocked him down like I don't know how many times in the first round by body shots. And then Bob Olsen comes. He said, "Man, you are a great fighter. We're gonna get you some more fights. You got to, because you have to build yourself. You
Right.
can't just go out there. You got to build it. Like, you can't just go fight one time and expect to go get a title belt. Whatnot. Got to build it up. So that's what
Yeah.
we was building it up, right? So, and then he passes away, man. That really, 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 really that really hurt me. Like, it really snowballed downhill from that point. Then I ran into this other promoter that was so shady. I'm not even gonna say his name, but he's out here where I'm at. He's in Salt
Okay.
Lake. So this guy, I mean, he would call me every month. Like, he would, because he said he had fights every month, and I'm trying to get my record back up there because I failed. My record was like 3-7 and 3-9. My record's probably still
Yeah.
3-9 or something like that. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm being honest.
It's
So
all
the
right. Yeah.
guy, he sets me up a fight, right? I whooped the crap out of the guy he matched me up with. I didn't sugarcoat. I beat the crap out of him. This dude, man, was trying to whoop me with his dreadlocks. You know what I mean? It's like a setup or something. Just whoop him with his dreadlocks or something. But it wasn't the case. I danced around him like there was no tomorrow, like, and won him. But the cold part about it was the money. Like, you're gonna give me these tickets. Now, this is another thing about shady promoters, y'all. Don't give boxers tickets. Hey, go sell these tickets. I mean, in my opinion, if you're giving me tickets, that's mine. That money should be mine. It shouldn't go in your pocket. I'm the one going in that ring, and I'm the one fighting in there. So if you want me to go get all these people to come and watch me fight and then give you the money, I don't think so. You know what I mean? But being the person I was, I did that. I've sold the tickets, and I thought, here you go, man, here you go, buddy. Give him the money, and then he takes from my purse after the fight. Like, what? You know what I mean? I mean,
Wow.
you're basically giving me chump change here. You know what I mean? Oh, this, that, because he's charging me. He's charging me for my physicals. Like, if I go get a MRT, whatever that's called, a physical. This is the basic stuff for boxing. They check your vitals and all that stuff, and then
Yeah.
he charged me for that. Hey man, you're gonna charge me for that. That makes a boxer. It kind of like it messes with you. Being a boxer, like, you want to be able to go in there and perform the greatest that you can. You want to give the audience what they want to see.
Yeah.
But like I said, I beat that dude. Then I fought one of his guys, lost that fight. And it's just, it's all about the promotion. But I can't really blame them. I can only blame myself too, because I should have been more aware. I mean, I should have been watching more. But with all the craziness and stuff that goes on, it kind of takes a toll on you, man. Like, let's take Mike Tyson for example. Like, he lost his trainer or whatever the guy is was it his trainer that he lost a long time ago,
Yeah.
and he went crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I went crazy, but it's something like when you lose somebody like a trainer, a coach, like someone who was there for you in your pocket since you was a kid. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like you take that to the professionals. Like, man, I wish my coach was sitting right. He can't train me like that, coach. So yeah, man, it's just boxing's been a very good experience for me, guys. I learned a lot from it. I mean, like I said, I started boxing I turned professional at a late age. I mean, I turned professional at 27. I'm 49 now.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if I wouldn't even, I mean, if they paid me the right money right now and they called me and they say, "Here, man, we got to fight for you." It should be like, but you got 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks training. Don't call me and say, "We got to fight for you for 2 weeks, in 2 weeks." That's not enough time to get in there. I don't care what boxer you're. That is not enough time for you to get in the ring with an opponent who's probably been training 10 weeks to your two. Or that's like him gaining 158 pounds and you only ate 148 pounds, a 10-pound difference, whatever. But I'm not saying that would happen, because your weight's got to be on weight. It's either 150, 150. You just don't fight the fight. So yeah, it's just like the older I got, it's like, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm not even gonna fight anymore, because this promoter is supposed to be the best promoter out here in Utah. Is like jipping people. The man, the man gave me a bounce check, for crying out loud.
Can y'all hear me? Excuse me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I mean, who does that? Like, what promoter does that? We're gonna promote this fight. You're gonna sell all these tickets, but we're gonna step in that ring, and then after you get your purse, it's gonna be a bounce check. Man, that took me through the ringer too. I was like, okay, I'm done with this promoter. You know what I mean? So I started like really trying to look for promoters myself, like, putting it out there, just sending stuff online, like, hey, I'm Boxer, Hitman, I'm saying, looking for a good promoter, someone who, I need a training camp. I never been to a training camp from a day of my boxing life. I was the training camp, because I felt like, there's nothing. I mean, this guy's not. I can't do nothing. He's not benefit. I can't benefit from him because he's taking my money. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hang my gloves up. I'm gonna hang them up. And this was, and I'm like I said, I'm 49. This has been like since this pandemic thing happened. I haven't been in the gym to train my students because I can't get in the gym. And that's my boxing's my passion. I mean, I talk to my baby all the time about I want to go in the gym. I want to be go jump rope, hit the speed bag. And if they, like I said, if they call me right now and they say, Hitman, we have a fight for you, but it's 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks out. Hey, I'm gonna train hard. I'm gonna train hard for them 6 to 8 weeks, and you most guarantee I'll go on there and I'll give it my best at the age of 49 still. That's not old. I mean, it is for boxing, but still, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but I would if if the money was right, the promoter was right, and the contract was right. But my thing now, guys, is I'm as a boxer mentor. I enjoy teaching not kids, but anybody who wants to learn how to box. Boxing comes from the feet up. It's easy to go in there and throw two punches and think that you can move your head without getting hit. That's not the case. You got to learn you got to have that sweet science, that footwork. So that's what I was teaching my students: how to move, how to bob and weave, and how to parry away punches, how to throw 45s. Body shots was what I was teaching them too. And I taught. I had 3 students that they really wanted me to work with them because they were amateur fighters, and then we have fights each week for the gym that I worked at. We have fights every week there, and they asked me. They said, "Hey man, we want you to train us for this fight." No disrespect to the owner of the facility, but he allowed me to train the kids, and they won. And it makes me feel good. Like, hey man, I taught him that. What I mean, I even taught him the 666 combination. That 666 combination, man, it'll wear your opponent down if you like I said, if you have accuracy, you have the footwork and the ability to dodge punches and deliver a counter shot. Those 666 punches are amazing. So yeah, man, that's how I got involved. I mean, boxing for me, when I was, like I said, when I was younger, I used to get bullied. Like, who wants to be bullied? I didn't know how to throw a punch. I didn't know nothing about fighting. I used to run home. My brothers and my sisters were like, we're gonna whoop you behind if you don't go back to that school and whoop them. I'm not going back to that school. I'm not about to go get beat up no more. You know what I mean? I used to hide in the
Yeah.
bushes with my lunchbox. You know, but it became a it's my passion. Boxing is still my passion. I love it. Um, my little 6-year-old son, he had the gloves on last night as we speak. I had the mitts on, holding mitts for him. So I think in the future he'll be a boxer. If that's what he decides he wants to do, then I'm here for him. I was teaching him how to just throw 1-2s, and he caught on really quick. Kind of reminded me. I mean, I didn't start at 6 years old, but it reminds me of me. Like, that's how I threw my first jab. That's how I threw my first hook, or that's how I threw my first straight. You know, but overall, us as boxers. If you guys are boxers, fighters, MMA fighters, whoever it may be, just gotta watch out for who you sign a contract with. You gotta watch out because you can get hurt. Boxing is a very dangerous game, you know, and you gotta protect yourself. I've been hit to the point where I couldn't continue because they have a thing that it's called a 10-second count. It's like a 10 shot,
Yeah.
doom, 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 like when they hit that mat. And my only thing that I did wrong when I heard that, you guys, I stepped back and you never do this. Don't ever step back and drop your hands. My girl would always tell me, always put your hands up. Don't step straight back. Move to the side. And I don't know what went through my mind, guys. It's like I blinked out, like a tink, 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 and then I dropped my hands. And next thing you know, I was on the canvas. Like, one good shot can end your world, man. I mean, you can get knocked out. You probably won't even wake up from a shot if you get hit in the wrong place. And that guy hit me so hard in my eyeball, I couldn't even see. I could see out of one eye. I was looking at my corner over there, and I can see him waving over to me, and I can see and hear that referee counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm still trying to collect myself. I'm up on my feet, but I fall back down because I guess the man hit me so hard, man. My pupil, I don't know where my pupil went to, but the pupil went somewhere else. So at that
Wow.
point, I said, you know what? Do I continue to fight this fight, or do I just let the referee count me down? I wasn't out cold. I was looking right at the referee, but it was just I couldn't. I don't know if you guys ever been hit in the eye so dang hard, man. But you
Wow.
can't. You see, you when I got hit, I heard my old coach say, "Stay around the outside. Put your hands up." It was all too late for that. That's how hard I got hit at 140 pounds, and I was winning the fight. That was the whole thing about it, man. I was winning the whole fight, and like I said, man, that something went across my mind, and it's told me to drop my hands, man. And I think about that every day, guys. I really do. I wish I could turn back the hands of time, and then when I heard that 10-second count, just put my hands up. But I teach my students, and I always will teach them how to move their feet, put their hands up, and then how to go into a Philly shell, like you know. So boxing is my everything, and I can't wait. So
Wow. Okay, so Ogden, I got a few questions, man. As far as why do you think you weren't picked up to go to the Olympics that morning? You said.
well, to be honest with you, Renee, I beat their fighter. I'm not gonna say his name,
Wow. Okay, I
but
remember that. Yeah.
we fought 17 times, and we fought 17 times in the amateurs. Like I beat him 17 times. I beat him 5 times for the Golden Gloves. I mean, every time the Golden Glove come, it was just me and him. We would qualify to fight each other. What I mean, why am I always fighting this guy every time? You know what I mean? You know how you fight somebody so much, it becomes routine. Like you know what he's gonna throw, he knows what you're gonna throw. He knows when you're gonna slip back. This guy, he was I call him wingers. He wouldn't go out there and throw no jab, and then move his head or anything. He would just come straight forward and wing punches.
Right.
And 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 I beat him. Like I beat the guy for that final. It was the finals. I beat him, and that's why I believe that they didn't take me to the Olympics, because they said be there at 5:30 in the morning. The bus leaves at 5:30. I was there. I was there before 5:30. I live right across the street from the Marshall White Center. Live right. And I told this story to so many people so many times. I mean, did my watch break or something? Because I was there. I was there before the birds was chirping. And then, like I said, I stood there until 9:30, and that ate me up, you guys. That Renee, that tore me up. You know what I mean? That's the Olympics. The people that they went to the Olympics, man, they all lost. The other people that they with the bus, I guess, because I kept the update on it, and they all lost. Everyone from Utah lost in the Olympics. Like I was like, I could
What
have
year was
won.
that Olympics?
Um, I say about 89, 90 or
Ah,
something,
okay,
or
okay.
87, 80 is it's back in the day. Like I was
Right.
young, man. I was like 17, 18 years old.
Whoa, okay.
I was a youngster because, like I said, the amateur career was wonderful. Like I thought, man, I was over the top with it. You know what I mean? I had so many trophies. Like you're talking trophies. I even got a big, outstanding trophy, like huge. But I want to tell you guys this story one amateur fight that I did fight that I would never ever forget, and it was in St. George, Utah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with St. George, Utah, whatever. But um, Roger took us out there. It was like 10 of us. It was fun. We had to, it was a long drive. Went there, and now St. George, they have a lot of Indians out there. Nothing against nobody, no Indians, because I'm not that way. But this guy Charlie, I was supposed to fight, and Roger will always say, "Hitman, Charlie has a strong chin. You can't keep hitting Charlie in his chin. You got to hit Charlie in his body, right?" Now, keep in mind, I'm a amateur. I don't want to. I got all these fights in my belt. I'm winning them. Golden Glove this, Golden Glove that, and it kind of went to my head. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in there and try to knock Charlie out, like hit Charlie in his chin, knock him out, right? Because he said it was a challenge to me. Don't hit him in the chin. So I'm going straight to his chin. I want to see for myself. So we get to St. George. Me and Charlie's the last fight. So we got the main fight of the night, right? I try to triple six. Charlie don't budge. Like what Roger said, Charlie got a strong chin. Hit Charlie 2 more times, bing bing, drop to his body, boop boop. Now he kind of went back and hit the body. He's kind of tender down there, but his chin was rock solid. and he was scoring on me like I was losing the fight. I was like, I'm about to lose this fight. It's like we was going 4 rounds. Third round, I said, "Oh my gosh, I can't beat him, Roger. I can't get him." He's like, "Yeah, man, you got to go in there." He goes, "This time I want you to mix it up, because this time don't go to the head, because I want you to drop 2 down to the body, and throw 2 slinging hooks to the top, and then a one." He said a left hook to the body. So I do that. I throw the two to the body, bing bing, and then I feint him. I didn't do what Roger. I didn't go back to his head because I knew that Charlie had a strong chin, right? But what happened when I threw the left and the right, and I feinted the left to the head and dropped to his body. I dropped so hard to Charlie's body with that right hook, and this may sound gross, y'all, but Charlie duded on himself. He duded on himself. Oh, never forget that. You heard it. You heard the sound, like you heard the thump of the glove. Boop. Because the glove, when you make a good impact on the body or the chin, you hear this loud smack, like it's like hitting the bag, pow,
Right, right.
or the mint. And I got that. You know how you got that nice 45 underneath the body,
Yeah.
boom. And Charlie lost his bowel movement right there in the ring. It was it. And I said, "Oh,
Whoa.
yeah, I would never forget that, man." And it was wonderful. And I got the fight of the night on that one too. So just want to share that story with you. This tells you how amazing boxing is. Like you gotta like put numbers. I put numbers on my opponent. Like that's what I used to do, guys. I used to put what I mean by putting numbers on them. Like they say, 5-2-3. That may be uppercut, left hook, right hook, or something like that. But I always put one on his forehead, two on his side of his rib, a four on the side of his rib, one in his chest, because it's like a dummy. Like that's how I looked at fighters, like a dummy. Like wherever you move, I'm moving. But I don't know if they put numbers on me, but I'm tagging you with these numbers on you. And that's what I did, man. I mean, I had fun. Other than some of the shady stuff that's happened to me in my career, but that hurt me not being able to go to the Olympics. But
So
I
real quick,
did.
bro.
Hmm.
Yeah, just real quick, just for those who are listening. So like where can they? Is it possible that they can find you? Because you were fighting back in the day. It was a while ago. So like, can you just real quick go ahead and mention the Golden Gloves that you won back in those days in the amateurs?
Yeah, there was the Golden Gloves and so the Invitational Golden Gloves. I won that numerous of times. Um, Nationals, we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the Nationals a couple of times. A lot of times it was like at the Marshall White Center, Golden Gloves. Just 5 times. I mean, every time the Golden Gloves came around, I was there for those Golden Gloves. I was there. It was like the Invitational Golden Gloves, Nationals Golden Gloves, Regional Gloves. It all depends what they was doing that day. So I went in there and won it. Like I said, I didn't really pay attention. They said you're going to the Golden Gloves, Hitman. You go in there, you train, you fight, and I did that. I went in there and I aimed for the Golden Gloves first place. You know,
Yeah.
and I won them all. I won them all. Like I won every single one of them. Like hands down. Like I walked over my opponents. Like because I got a long reach anyway, so I just kind of walked over everybody in my weight class, as far as the amateur goes. So yeah, those Golden Gloves, I'm a 5 times Golden Glove champion, 3 times national champion, and 2 times regional champion.
So when
You
you
know
went
my
into yeah, so when you went into pros, it was more of a short career, right? You can say it was a short
Yes,
pro. Yeah.
yeah, a short career. Like I said, my record stands right now as three wins, probably 9 losses.
All right, all
Like
right.
I said,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
because my career could have went a lot better than it did. Like I said, man, I've been dealing with, I dealt with some really crazy things, in my career, or it just didn't work out. I guess, like I said, the promoter that I did have, man, he made sure that me and my baby were well taken care of. Rest in peace, Bob Olsen. Um,
So
like I
that's a quick
said, there,
question. Let me just jump in real quick. What I think, okay, and I mean, there's lots to ask about this. Like, so you entered the pro career. To me, it sounds like it was just a, misguided, a pro career.
yeah,
Unfortunately, in your case, I think because from what I hear and what you're explaining and your trajectory in this, the short pro career you had, really extensive amateur career. The thing here is it sounds like maybe a manager was missing, right, in your team,
Yeah,
right? The correct manager, right?
exactly. You're right. You hit it right on the nail, Renee. Excuse me. You hit it right on the nail, Renee. A manager. Like I said, the only two people that was in my corner was me and my baby. You know, what I mean, like I said, the promoter. I ain't gonna say his name. He's out of Salt Lake City. He would call me and he would ask me, "We got to fight." Like he would try to put some fights on every week to me, like he would try to put on a show every month. Is what I'm trying to say. But he wouldn't tell me until like 2 weeks. Like it's like he was getting his fighters ready because he knew I was a good fighter, and he knows that if his fighters win, it's more like he's trying to get them to the next fight. Oh, I want to get you these wins so you can move up and move up and move up. We'll just throw Hitman in the ring. He's like a punching bag. I'm not nobody's punching bag. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be a legitimate promoter, call me within 6 to 8 weeks in advance. You know what I mean? I didn't have a manager. Like I said, I didn't have a manager. I didn't have a cut man. I have nothing. You know, and thankfully, like when I did go on and sign contracts that was legit, like a good contract, they would ask me, do you have a corner man? No. Do you have a manager? No. It even says on the contract, who's your manager? This and this and that. I don't have a manager, man. Hey, I wish I did. So, okay, we'll have this person work you. But then again, you got to pay them 25, 35, $50 to wrap your hand. No, it was $25 per hand wrap. No,
Mm,
come on. Like, come on, who does that? Like, you're trying, I mean, it's cool, but I'm not making that much money here. You're taking $25 for per hand. Do I got to pay 25 per glove too? No, these are the questions I was asking. Like, wow, man, like how much? And then this last fight I had, I basically lost that fight too because this is this is crazy. Like this promoter, man, had me and my baby running around like chicken with the head cut off. Like we started early in the morning, like 11:30 a.m. or something like that, running around doing physicals and stuff like that. Then we had to go way to Salt Lake. It's probably like an hour away from where I'm standing right now, maybe probably less than that. But we got there, and we didn't leave there because this guy didn't know what he was doing. We didn't get back home until 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, like this is all unprofessional to me. You know, I'm tired. The fight is Saturday. It was a Saturday fight. We still in the university Saturday morning. Like this Saturday, 4 o'clock Saturday morning. I'm still in the university trying to get a doctor to come in and check everybody out. You know. So yeah, man. I mean, that's another reason why I was like, you know what? I'm just done. I'd rather just, train kids and teach them what I know. Like maybe they'll go a little further than what I did. So like I say,
right.
boxing, man, it's really you gotta watch what you do. You gotta watch your promoters. You gotta have a manager. If you guys ever think about taking up boxing, man, make sure that you have a great cornerman, a great manager. Make sure that your manager knows what he's doing with these promoters. That's another thing. Where I was trying to do all. Me and my girl was just trying to do it ourselves, and she'd
Right.
always tell me, "Don't go fight for him. Don't fight for him. He's not good." But I was hard headed. I was like, "Nah, he's cool." Da da da. Like I said, if you're gonna sell tickets, if a fighter's gonna sell tickets, I think that money should go to the fighter, right? Don't you think? You guys think that if
Yeah,
we're
of
gonna
course.
sell tickets, but no, and not in his case, it's like, well, how much money, man? Here, you take this money. Like, here you go. But don't take out my purse, which they did. So yeah, man, really, you are absolutely right, man. I didn't have a manager in my corner, man.
So here,
So
so
you're right.
here, so here, the promoter you said you don't want to mention his name out of respect. I understand. Like,
Yeah,
he sounds like a local promoter, right?
yeah, he is a local promoter. You know who he kind of reminds me of is Don King. That's who he reminds me of. Like literally, like like come on, man. Like you're that greedy. Like man, I mean, if he called me right now, I think the last time he called me was a good, I don't know, probably maybe a year and a half ago, maybe less, more than that. But I never answer his phone call because I already know it's going to be some garbage contract. Like,
Wow.
and then I met Sugar Ray Leonard in the Emerald Queen Casino, man. He was sitting right in the front row seat. Went over there, shook his hand and everything, like, and you know, I've been around some good fighters. What's his name? Buster Douglas. Met him and his big brother William Douglas. My one of my boxing buddies knocked William Douglas out in the 10th round at the Emerald Queen Casino.
Who was it?
You
Do you
know,
remember who was it?
the guy, my fighter, the guy
Yeah.
I know, his name was
Mm.
Billy Zumber. His name was Billy Zumbrin. Billy the Kid. Billy the Kid knocked out William Douglas at the Emerald Queen Casino, the 10th
Oh,
round. Yep. Buster
wow.
Douglas was right there front row because they're tall. There's some giants, man. I'm not. This dude was giants in there. And Billy's old lady was like, "Oh my God, he's not doing anything, Hitman." I was like, that's Billy. That's how Billy fights. I said, just give us some time. Billy's gonna knock this cat out because William Douglas was spitting all over him. Like he was literally disrespecting Billy in there, spitting on him, pushing with his elbows, like trying to hit him with his headbutts and stuff. So what Billy did, Billy came back. I was in the corner, but I can only imagine what the coaches was telling Billy, like da da da. So Billy kind of looked back over what we was, and he's like, "I got this." So he went out there, and Billy, because he's not a southpaw, he threw a right hand or left. He threw his left jab. He threw the left jab, feinted the right, and he came back with a left 45. That was the beautiful shot I ever seen someone get hit with, and knocked him out cold. So he caught him with the nice little leaner left 45, put William Douglas out. So yeah, man, like if I had the managers, Renee, I'd probably be still boxing, man. I'm not even lying.
That's what I was going to say
You
right
know?
now. Is it sounded like you had a way. Obviously, you did. I mean, not like it sounded. I mean, you did have a really successful amateur career, and then when
Oh
you
yeah.
went into pros, that's unfortunately that's where it went all haywire, and because of the misguidance that you had. You didn't have.
Yes.
You don't. Your pro career is not nearly as good as your amateur career for the fact that you didn't have a manager and you were kind of just going about, doing it your own way. So what advice, like, for example, you were saying a moment ago that you had, you're training kids, you're training up and coming fighters that want to fight or what have you. What, I mean, you already said it, but like, how can these young champions that want to fight, young fighters that want to fight, how can they find the right manager? How would they go about doing something like that?
What you would do for you guys who wants to become pro fighters, man, is take your time. Take your time, man. Stay in the gym and don't rush into it. Like a good manager is gonna come to you because if you just take any manager, it's not gonna work out. Like I would just stay in the gym, stay in top shape. You know, um, look for. I mean, if you want to look for, man, get a good manager. Like ask questions. Like, hey, man, if I were to fight for you, I mean, what would I get paid? You can ask those questions. I will expect. I want to get paid as much as the other fighters are getting paid. I don't want nothing less. If the contract is 1,200, give me 1,200. If the contract is $55,000, give me $55,000. But the main thing to you guys, man, is just stay focused. Stay focused on the task at hand. Stay in the gym. Just don't take any fight either. Just because they say, "Oh, we got to fight for you over here." Sometimes a fight, you just got to pass them up sometimes, because they're trying to either build their fighter or they're just trying to get their promote. They're just trying to make some money for themselves. They're promoting, be
Okay,
making fun.
okay.
But get a manager. Like, make sure your manager can be your uncle, your brother, your dad, your best friend, someone
Oh,
that you can
so
trust in.
anyone can be a manager.
Anyone can be a manager at this point. You don't have to
Okay.
go up. You don't have to go to a gym and say, "Hey, is there a manager in here?"
Oh,
Screw that,
all
because
right.
someone's gonna be like, "Oh, he's looking for a manager." Ding, that light's gonna come on. Oh, he wants me, and you don't really know him from a hole in the wall. He's gonna if he finds out you don't know too much about boxing or how it works or what you should get paid, the
It's gonna take
manager is supposed to
advantage.
give.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll take advantage of you. A manager is going to make sure that you're well taken care of. You got your hand wraps, you got your mouthpieces, you got your robes, your trunks, your shoes, your nut cup, whatever it is that a boxer is required to have. Your manager is supposed to have that. So that's why I say make sure that your manager is someone that you know that you can trust. It could be your wife, it could be your girlfriend. You know what I mean? But make
Okay, real
sure
quick,
like
bro, real quick. Just real fast.
mhm.
Sorry, bro. I just got so many questions. Like, okay, so when you said you were in the amateurs, I mean, just like you said, being patient, that's key. Your name will spread alone just by your amateur record and by your accomplishments like you did, like you
Yeah,
had. So I mean, it'll go alone. There are recruiters, if I'm not mistaken. You said, they will bring themselves to the gym just to see you. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So
sir.
yeah, and the right person will come. But okay, so when you transitioned from amateur to pro, do you remember like the short pro career you had, very short? A lot of people think, and for me, I think it's an honor, man. It's an honor to me to have any fighter, former fighter, because we always have the mindset that whatever platforms or whatever, or just boxing community in general, we think, oh, we got to interview the best out there, we got to interview the guy who's undefeated, we got to interview. No, of course not. I learned from all fighters. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah,
who has had these experiences, and you're one of those guys, man, that has had amazing experiences, amazing accomplishments in the amateur career. And unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. Life is life, right?
right, right.
You were misguided, man, and the pro aspect, and we can learn so much from this. Because so what do you remember, like, of when some contracts were thrown at you? What do you remember? What was in the contracts exactly?
Well, this last time that I was supposed to fight, well, I did fight. Speaking of the contract, me and my girl went out there, and like I said, it was with the local promoter. Went out there, and for some reason, when I got there, I just felt you can feel like like the hating, like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's not a comfortable feeling. So when I got in his office, I was like, "How you doing, sir?" He's like, "Oh, what's up? Sit down." Da, da, da. And he wanted me to sign right away. Oh, hold on. Like, I'm not just gonna. I want to read what I'm gonna sign first. You know what I mean? I want to read this contract. I want to make sure the weight is right. Okay, you got to look at that weight class. You got to look at your opponent's name. Your opponent's contract is not going to be by you. You can't see your opponent's contract. You can only see your contract with your opponent's name on it. You can't even see the opponent's amount of money that he's going to get. You can only see the amount of money that this promoter is about to give you. So I looked at the contract and I was like, that's kind of low. That's kind of. I'm not gonna. I really, man, I need more money than that. I mean, I need a little bit of more money. Oh no, I can't do that. For 4 rounds, because I was going 4 rounds, 4 rounds, 4 rounds, 4 rounds, which is that's how you start out as a professional. So 4 rounds for $600? I don't think so. How much you paying the other guy? Oh, don't worry about that. That's not a no. Hold on, man. I want to see. I want this. This starts like I want the same amount of money that you're gonna pay him. I want that
yeah,
same amount of money. So we just kept going back and forth. Well, I can't do that, da da da. So and being that I'm a boxer, I'm like, okay, 4 rounds here. I just signed the contract, and there is it again. It doesn't even feel like you. It doesn't make you feel like a professional. It feels like you're more going into a street fight, like a underground smokers fight. Like, oh man, 4 rounds, $600, man.
yeah,
Come on,
exactly, yeah.
really? Like that's I'm risking my life to go in there. But the contract, Renee, you got to look at the contract. You got to pay close attention to the details in that contract, which I didn't do. You know what I mean? So come to find out, the guy paid the fighter. He paid my opponent more money than he paid me because of his record. I ain't gonna even say the fighter's name, but because of his record, because he was their local Salt Lake City fighter, he got more money and he got more reputation than I did. You know what I mean? I felt that person, the promoter, was building his fighter to go, okay, you're gonna go fight more top quality fighters, what I'm trying to say. So the record they match you according to your record. So if you have a record like he did, he had his record, and I didn't even know that his record was 12-8, 12 wins, 8 losses with like 7, 6, something like that KOs. That kind of like you have to pay attention to those things. I mean, you can't. A record doesn't define a boxer
Right.
just because he has 100 wins. But it does. You still have to worry about, man, how many fighters, how many great fighters has he been in the ring? He's got great ring experience. You know what I mean? He done signed these other contracts somewhere in other states. You know what I mean? He's good. I'm not gonna take nothing from the kid. His name is the Kid KO. They say Kid KO. I'm not gonna
Oh,
take
okay.
nothing from him. He was a great fighter. He just had more experience than I did. But the contract, getting back on that contract, you got to pay close attention to the details in the contract. A good promoter is going to say, here's the contract and here's his contract, right? That's what your manager and the promoter, they get together and say, I would like to see John Doe's contract versus Hitman's contract. I want to see if they're both the same. You can't hide John Doe's contract and just leave Hitman's contract sitting there with pennies when John Doe got a fortune cookie. You know what I mean? Make sense? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how the contracts work. I mean, but sometimes, you know, man, I've done worked this hard, I got this far. I'm not just gonna turn around now. You know, I got all these people come to see me, especially when you. That's another thing. You sell tickets. You say, "Hey, come watch me fight." These people done paid $35, $40 to come watch you fight. So you better sign that contract. You don't have to, but those people are going to be mad. Those ones that they paid that $45, you don't show up for a fight, they're going to be mad at you. So you lose about 50 fans, maybe 60 or 70 of them. Oh man, Hitman didn't show up for the fight. Oh man, he's a bum. You know, something like that. If you don't show up, you know what I mean? Versus, okay, I signed the contract for the little pennies. Won the fight, you still got to pay. Like I said, you still have to pay a $25 fee for your hand wrappings. That's 25 for your left and your right hand. You know what I mean? And if you don't make weight, like I had a guy, the contract was at one, because I went from 140 to 135 in my pro career. Just the weight just kept, you know, going up and down, up and down. So I was at 145. The contract consists of 147. What? 147? What happened to the 145, 145, 140? Now I got to gain 2 pounds? Okay. Go eat up stuff. I don't eat up everything. I still did because I got those. I'm only 5'9". You know what I mean? I'm not no big guy. 5'9". You know, I'm kind of built. You know what I mean? But I just can't. I can't gain a lot of weight. But I can lose a lot. I can lose more weight than I can gain. But I gain probably like a pound and a half. This guy's at 147, but I beat the smack out of him though. He had to pay me $200 because of his weight. Okay, kind of, you guys get what I'm saying with the contract kind of thing.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
don't have, if your weight is off, like if you the contract say 140 and you go in there weighing 145, or you go in there less weight, you're gonna have to pay your opponent some money. That's how the boxing game works. That's
Yeah,
how those
exactly.
contracts work. You know, so yeah, that's how you got to pay close attention to the contract itself and the manager. You got to, like I said, the manager. If you have a good manager in you guys' corner, man, go for it. But just don't be a boxer and then let a manager that you don't even know say. It may sound good too. Hey man, hey kid, come on over here. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you, hey, I got this for you. No, they'll even throw you some gloves or give you a robe or something like that just to get you hooked in. Once you get hooked in, God knows what they told someone else. Then they'll match you with that person. Well, I told the same guy, I told so and so this, but we're gonna do this. Um, Here's another thing that happened to me on a contract. Since we're speaking of contracts, the promoter, um, the shady promoter, we went to Seattle. Okay, he told me the guy's record was like my record. Like I was only, I was like 1-0-1. The pro debut. That's the no 0-3 or something like that. So we get there. I was like, oh my God, this guy, he got a record like me. Cool. I might come out with a victory. You know what I mean? Someday, somehow. The guy comes out first. No, I come out first. I'm in the ring first. They shoot me through the ring. Dude, my intro goes on. Oh, pretty cool intro too. There in Seattle. Go
All
through the
right.
smoke and all that. This guy comes out, Renee. His record was 7-0. 7-0. This guy's holding a dang
Wow.
he's holding a belt. Like he's holding not a title belt, but they
Yeah,
have
one of the
like
yeah.
belts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So he's holding those. He got his flags and stuff. I see not him, but I see a manager, a cornerman, a cutman. I'm looking at me. I'm like, wow, I only got me and this guy in the corner. And he's coming out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and he got a flag in his hand, a belt open in the air. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, but I'm in this ring. I'm looking around like there's thousands of people in here. I said, oh my goodness. Now that right there, that took the steam out of me, bro. Like it really, like being a boxer, you ready to fight some guy with a similar record like yours, but he coming
Yeah.
out with a belt and all. I'm like, oh man, pay attention to the contract, guys. I lost the fight. You know what I mean? But I got through 3 wins easy after that. But like I said, my pro career kind of slid downhill, man. Like I could have juggled that career a little more better than I did, but it was just like I just was led down the wrong path, I guess. But like I said, I keep it alive by going to the gym when I can, and hopefully get back in the gym soon because I'm missing it, man. I mean, I really miss going to the gym, working with those students, man, and I'm pretty sure that there's gonna come a time where I'm gonna go on there. In fact, I'm gonna probably try this week again because I headed down there last week and I looked in there and I seen about 4 people in there, and I don't want to really go in there when there's a whole lot of people in there. So I'm gonna get a hold of him and see if I personally can go in there and work out. And if somebody else wants to come with me that I know and work out, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. And like I said, I'm still active, but I think I'm gonna hang them up anyway because I'm at the point where I'm almost 50 years old. I've been there. I've been with some great fighters. I'm not gonna lie. I've been with some tough competitors. Like you said, Renee, my amateur career was outstanding, man. I mean, I had an outstanding career, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Like people tell this day, they always say, "Hitman, gonna box?" I don't know. I train. I train. My boxer mentor. Man, hey, it's a wonderful thing. But you got to protect yourself. You got to know what you're doing in there, and make sure that you have a great manager. Like you said, you got to have a great manager, cornerman, and pay attention to the contract, man. Pay attention to what they're giving you in front of you. You know, pay attention.
Wow. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, because I went to from my phone to my computer now. That's what the issue I had at the beginning of the session when we were going before we went on, and I went
That's
to my phone and I've been on my phone and I just got on my computer. That's why I'm sharing this image right now. So alrighty. So I mean that's the thing here. Those who are in the chat. You know what I mean. Bruce goes. I mean, y'all who are jumping in, thank you guys so much. Lawrence Williams, Reggie Owens, we had him here also. Reggie Owens, G5, all y'all, man. And just to let you guys know, Ogden, he had a very short-lived pro career. In pro boxing, his biggest accomplishments and accolades were in amateur career. Can you repeat it again once more? What was your record, man? For those who jumped in, Ogden, your amateur career, 300, how many fights?
There was 365 fights. There was 17 losses out of 365 of them. So I lost
Wow,
17
man.
times. I lost 17 times out of 365 fights. And like I said, amateur career was amazing, man. I won the Golden Gloves 5 times. Like I said, 3 times regional, 2 times national, 3 times regional. I'm sorry. And I had a shot at the Olympics, but fortunately, like I said, they left me, man, because I beat their fighter. I beat their best fighter, and that's how it goes. Like, hey, man, you beat somebody. I mean, they could have just easily picked me up, but I guess they said, you know what, forget him, But make sure you guys, like you said, Renee, make sure people who want to be boxers out there or try and be boxers, professionals, whatever, even in the MMAs, okay, make sure that your contract is right. Make sure that you have a great manager. Like I said, it don't have to be anybody. You can be your best friend, someone that you can trust. That's where my mistakes were. I didn't really look into the contract. I didn't have a manager, period. You know, It was just me and my baby. Like I
You
said,
just
my
wanted to
baby.
box. You just wanted to go out and box. Yeah.
I just wanted to go in there and box. I wanted to go in there and throw hands. I took a lot of my amateur experience into the pros career. Like, and they say you can't take your amateur into your pros, but I did. You know what I mean? I didn't go in there fighting like an amateur. I went in there fighting like a professional. Like, you know, a lot of people, man, I mean, a lot of people say, man, oh, you lost, man. Man, it takes a lot of heart, a lot of heart to go inside the rings. Once you're inside those ropes, you're not promised to make it out of that rope. You know what I mean? You're not promised to make it out of there. You know what I mean? That's how boxing is. Like, a lot of people, they don't even understand. Like, I had one guy come and say, man, you suck. Like, dude, let me see you get in the ring with me. You can tell. Let's see if you can beat me. You know what I mean? I shut him down. Like, you want to spar with me? We can do whatever you want to do, you know? But you're not going to go out here and just make me look like I'm some small build, you know what I mean? Make me small, you know what I mean? Because I lost a fight, you know what I mean? I don't see them getting in there
Yeah.
doing it. Like I said, I don't see them guys getting in there and putting on the gloves and fighting, you know what I mean? And just because I love the sport.
Yeah, I mean that's why personally, I always say it time and time again on my platform. I respect all fighters, man. However many losses they have, whatever, right? I mean, I respect everyone, man, all fighters, because we don't know sometimes what fighters got to go through. Like how many Ogden, how many fighters do you think are in the situation that you have been through in your pro career, as far as bad management, struggling, trying to make it, you know what I mean? Going from here and there, unprofessional fights. What I mean is by unprofessional fights, like the way they're managed.
I think there's like, Renee, I think there's a
Managed
lot.
unprofessional. Uh-huh.
I think there's a lot of fighters out there right now. Like I'm talking about top-notch fighters still going through the same stuff right now. Like they may think they have it, or you may look at that person and say, "Man, he got it all. He's got, he may not have a belt, but he's up there. He's been top." But you never know what's going on with that actual person's contract manager, whatever. You know what I mean? Just because he's there, he's there for a reason. I mean, I think there's a lot of fighters going through what I've been through, man. I really do. And I think there's a lot of fighters who may have found a manager, who may found a legitimate promoter, but I also think there's other fighters right now that's going through the same thing I'm going through right now. Not older, not saying that they may be old as I am, but they may be 20, 21, 22, struggling. You know what I mean? Um, right now, like hands down, like yes, I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of fighters out there going through the same thing, man, if not worse. A lot
So
of
I mean,
like a lot.
it's not easy to find the right, get the right people on your side, pretty much, in pro boxing.
No, because everyone like say for instance, I did find that manager, and I did have my career started climbing, like my 3 turned into like a 30 and 10 or something like that. Now, okay, oh, Hitman's 30 and
Yeah.
10. Now you're gonna have bigger promoters. Okay, oh wow, he's 30 and 10. He's got so many knockouts. Let's get him. Let's match him with someone on a higher caliber. So that higher caliber consists of a higher contract. So when you start getting into the higher money, you're like, oh my God, now you start getting into like the hundreds and thousands of dollars. That's where it all starts. Like you start making that type of money, you're gonna be nervous, swervous. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I know just by me thinking about that, I'm like, man, I got butterflies in my stomach just thinking. If they call me right now and say, hey man, we got $100,000 fight for you. Wow, really? Well, you got 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, wow, I want to see that contract. You can tell me over the phone all you want, but I want to see that contract, and I want to make sure I have a manager first, right? Like my manager, like I would already have a manager, but me and the manager will go to that promoter. Hey, let's see that contract. Let's make sure that $100,000 is legit. Is this a legit contract? You know what I mean? Who's this fighting? And that's where it goes back to the contracts. It goes right back to the contract. Hitman versus whoever. I want both of those contracts in front of me and my manager. Okay? That's the only 2 people
Yeah.
should be in the room is the manager and the promoter and the fighter. That's the only 3 people
Right.
who should be in the room at that time. There shouldn't be anybody else, nothing, negotiating on that contract. So if the contract says $100,000 for each fighter, for 6 to 10 rounds, whatever or 10 rounds. Hey, let's do it. I'm signing that. Okay, so and so 145. We're both at 145 even. Okay, he didn't have to lose no weight. I didn't have to lose no weight. The weight remains the same. The money's good, $100,000 a piece. Nothing taken out the purse. Okay, I shouldn't have to pay someone. I mean, you can if that's what you want to do, but I would have somebody in my corner, like someone I know, like my brother or my cousins or someone my uncle that's really close, and say, hey man, you're gonna wrap my hands, and I mean, I'm giving them a percentage, true enough, but it ain't gonna be for wrapping my hands. I'm not gonna pay you $25 a piece to wrap my hands. I'm gonna cut you a check. You know what I'm saying? We win this fight, you're gonna get your pay like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to pay $25 for my hand wrap. You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, I got disqualified or you didn't make the weight, they're gonna take your purse anyway. You know what I mean? Or if you did if you say for instance you went in the ring and you took a fall, your purse gone. Especially if they feel that you took a fall, your purse gone. So those are things you risk. Like, so make sure you have someone legit on your side. That's how I see it, straight up. So yeah, there's a lot of other fighters out there, Renee, that's struggling. You know how they're struggling with it, I don't know.
Man.
But you can see it in the fighter's face.
But you can just, like, I mean, you gave us, right. I mean, you gave us enough, you gave us just from your experience a good insight on what a lot of fighters can be going through right now.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. And like Renee,
man.
Like last night when I was messing with my son with the boxing gloves and the hand mitts, man, it made me feel like, oh my gosh, my little son, that's me over again. Like, you know what I mean? It's my little boy. And if he chooses to be a boxer and he wants to be a boxer, I'm going to be his manager. I'm not going to let him go through what I went through. There's no way in the world that I'm going to let my son go through what I went through in my amateur career, pro career. And me and his mom will be his manager for that match. You know what I mean? Hey, son, don't sign this contract. That's a shady contract, son. No, we ain't signed that contract. In fact, you have to take the contract and keep on stepping. We gonna wait it out. So just don't jump on any contract, y'all. If y'all fighters, upcoming fighters, I mean, you may be amateur. If you're amateur, you don't have to worry about it. But when you turn professional, make sure that you know about that contract. So Hitman say, oh, Hitman was right. Don't just take any fight. Just don't take any fight because the contract may not be right. Make sure you check at the contract. Make sure that you look at your opponent's contract because you have that right. They can't say, okay, here's this contract for $900 for 4 rounds, but we're not going to let you see John Doe's contract that goes back to John Doe. No, I want to see John Doe's and my contract together. You know what I mean? And even take a picture of it.
Okay.
Take a picture of that contract.
Right.
I'll take. Hey, it's right there on the pudding because if anything happens, then they're gonna have to pay me some more money. So that's how it goes, man.
So going back, man. Just going back a little bit, on the unfortunate incidences that you had in your short pro career, right?
Yeah.
I think it's great, like what you said, man, that you thinking about hanging up the gloves and passing on what to the younger generation, to up and coming fighters in the local gym you go to. Who are those names again who passed away and that made you say like, wow, that really affected you? Who are they? Your trainer and a promoter also, right?
Yeah, I had my trainer's name was Roger Polito, man. He taught me the 666 combination. That was the very first combination I ever learned as an amateur. So Roger Polito, rest in peace. And then the promoter that I came across, man, it was amazing, was Bob Olson. Right. Bob Olson made me feel like a professional. He made you feel like a professional. He made you, like when you get a good promoter, if you got a good promoter who says, okay, we're not charging you to get on this airplane. Me and my baby got to the hotel room. There's money in there waiting for us already, like a complimentary, you know what I mean? Complimentary. Envelope full of money. I'm not sure how much it was in there, but envelope full of money. Nice suite. It was a nice suite. It wasn't a hotel. It was a suite. He made you feel welcome. Like, oh my gosh, hey, I gotta put on the best show tonight because hey, this man, not only did he pay for me to get here, I get paid on the way back too. You know what I mean? He pays for both ways. Like he didn't wait, guys. He didn't wait 2 weeks to say, Hitman, we got to fight for you. You got 2 weeks to get ready. No, he didn't. He said, Hitman, we have a fight for you. Get ready. 6 to 8 weeks. I'm comfortable with that. Who ain't? 6 to 8 weeks away, that's enough time to get in super duper shape. If you can't get in shape in 6 to 8 weeks for a 4 round fight, you don't need to be boxing. So he made me feel comfortable as a professional. You know what I mean? He made me feel like a pro boxer that I was. Now, and he even said, he goes, he coming along, kid, because he knew how my record was. You know, he seen me because we sat down, we talked. And he grabbed my hands. He said, you know what? He the one that told me, like most people, most most cornermen, they will charge you $25 a piece to wrap your hands. He says, but in my case, you're all paid for. Huh. Thank you, Mr. Olson. I'm all paid for. It made me feel 100% like a professional. Okay. When he passed away, all that it's just like it's all gone. Like, man. And then you get another promoter who's just so shady, like, oh, go sell tickets. I mean, there was no hypeness. There was no I didn't feel I felt like more I was going into a street fight with this other local promoter. I was always arguing with this promoter. Who argues with a promoter? You know what I mean? I was arguing with
So
a
real quick,
promoter. I don't
bro.
have to argue with a promoter. Go
Exactly.
ahead.
Actually, maybe Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya argued a few times.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No, just how many I don't want to go. Yeah. I don't want to go back to too much about rest in peace to the former promoter you had. How many fights did you have when he passed away?
Three of them. I had 3 fights under him, and I won. Those are the 3 ones that I won. Like
Okay.
literally.
Yeah, you're a very wow.
Yeah. See, I was like, I started my pro career when
Wow.
I
And
was
then it just went
older.
downhill from there, huh?
Yeah. Like I said, my record stands 3-10 or something like that. I'm not ashamed to say it because that's I'm telling you guys true story. Like it's true facts. It's all facts. Like Bob Olson died. It's
Right.
like my whole career, just like, man, I was never treated that way as a boxer, period. Besides Roger Polito, he was a great amateur coach. He taught me how to move. He taught me how to slip and dip. You know what I mean? One of these times I'm gonna have to go to the gym and I'm gonna put it out there of me working out so you guys can just see the way I move and see how the way I hit, the way what I was taught. But this other promoter just like made you feel it doesn't, like I said, it didn't make you feel like a professional. Like it made you like, oh man, it's like, oh damn, I gotta mess with this dude. Oh, it just, and then when you step into the ring, you're still thinking about this shady ass promoter that's over here right there by the table, like the judges. Like, is he judging the fight too? You know what I mean? I mean, I
Yeah.
wish I could say
Just
his name, but I'm never gonna say his name because he's not even worth saying his name to me. So
Bruce Goes, salute to Bruce Goes, man. He was saying here in the chat, name names. We're not gonna tell anybody.
yeah, but
But I see your point. I see your point. Real quick before we go, man, like you mentioned earlier that you were, training younger fighters and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um have you ever thought of like making business cards?
You know what, Renee? That's a good idea, man. Just before this, like I said, this whole thing happened with the craziness going around. That's something that my girl was talking about. So yeah, absolutely, we're gonna start to do that. And I was gonna try to even, try to get some fighters up under my wing and turn them professional after a while. That was something that, like, the person that the person's gym that I go to, I spoke to him because I don't like to step on his toes because he's the actual owner of the gym, and
Oh, okay.
it's an MMA gym / boxing gym. So he's more of MMA, and I'm more of the boxer because he hired me to go in there and train the students. Like it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 until whenever, and I will work those students out. I mean, trust me, I'm not no slouch when it comes to working out because I will work your behind out. I have a thing that's called a 20 up and 20 down thing. So you start out 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just straight punches, right, all the way to 20. And then I make you go back down by twos. So you go 20, 18, all the way back down to 2, and then back up to 20. If you can do that, you pass the test. It's called the stamina test. It's to test your stamina to see how much endurance you got. And those kids, some of them couldn't do it, and some of them could. I said, you know what? Come and try it again. And each week that they come there, I make them do it again until it was secondary to them. I wouldn't have to go over there and say 20 up and 20 down. They would just go over there and give me my 20 up and 20 downs. And then after that, we would work on jabs. We'll work on jabs, and then we'll work on straights. Then work on how to slip to the left, slip to the right, throw the 45 to the body, left hook to the head, whatever position you're in. That's how we taught you, or how I taught you how to throw the punch, how to parry away, how to block. And sometimes you got to tie up a little bit. So when we started sparring, I taught them how to tie up. If a guy got you on the corner, slip yourself out. Don't put yourself in that corner. You throw him in that corner. So I taught them how to do the slip way, and push him in the corner with your elbow, because the referee's not gonna penalize you for that, because it's part of boxing. So if you got a guy in the corner, if he got you in the corner and he's throwing something at you, step to the opposite side, push him, turn him around, throw him in the corner, and let him have that 20 up and 20 down. That's how I did that. And I did that one amateur night, like like I said, just before this happened, we have fights every week over at that gym. And one of my students, he put the best performance on that guy that night, man. I was so impressed. So yeah, man, it is what it is. It's a passion that I'm always teach kids when I can, So if I get a business card, that's definitely something I would like to do.
All right. So yeah, I feel you. Now, just before we go, it's about time now. I'm about to go do some other things right now, but where can they find you, bro? Anybody here who's listening, or maybe anybody around your area, if you want to put it out there, so in the future, hopefully when this whole pandemic crazy stuff, calms down, they can find you and maybe you can help them out.
Where can they find me? Like what state?
Yeah.
Ogden, Utah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
Utah. So yeah, and the gym that I used to train, you guys can look it up. It's called the Marshall White Center, the MWC. Man, that place, man. I grew up in, like I said, I started at 9 years old, man, and I went a long ways, Renee, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate boxing, and man, it's just a passion that I have until the day that I can't do it no more. Like my son, hopefully he picks up the boxing tradition and keep that going too, And I have a daughter that also likes to box too, so maybe in the future that we can do some I can do some handwork with her and put that content out so you guys can see just on how I have my students move around. So yeah, man, I wouldn't mind doing that for you guys, man. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, because as soon as I get to the gym, it don't even have to be the gym, it'll be around this house. You know what I mean? And I can do something and I can show you guys. But you can reach me here in Utah, and you have my email, Renee, right? Renee?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got my email, so yeah, hit me up, man. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for helping someone build themselves, you know what I mean, from the ground up. Like I said, it's easy to go in there and throw 2 punches at somebody, but if you don't have that stability, that foundation, I call it a foundation, and that's your feet. You gotta learn how to move around. You just can't throw punches and stand in one spot, because it's not gonna work out for you.
Right. So I can even leave. Is it cool if I leave your email in the description, or if anybody wants to hit at you, or comment, or need any of your help? Is it cool if I put your
Yeah, do that.
Cool.
Go for it.
Right on. Okay. So everybody who's tuning in, you know what I'm saying, or who will tune in eventually, I'll put your email in the description, so that if anybody's around your area, well, they can just holler at you.
Hey, that sounds perfect, man. I'm down for that, man. And guys, keep in mind, guys, I'm not one of these guys who's just going to train you and send you on your way. I'm gonna train you until you damn near drop to the ground. You're gonna want more of it. You're gonna hate me first. You're gonna hate me after. Oh man, God, that Hitman, da 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 da. But in the end, man, it's gonna pay off. Trust me. If you guys are interested in boxing,
definitely your experience
Yes.
definitely help people out. So thank you so much, Hitman, bro. And it was a great chat with you. You know what I'm saying? Telling us so many
Thank you.
things of what fighters, yeah, pro fighters, those who are maybe amateurs right now, or anybody, go ahead and share this, you guys. If anybody, you guys know any amateur fighters out there, or novice pro fighters, this is a great episode, a great show on where Ogden, what I'm saying, was explaining his short pro career but very extensive amateur career, and the
Yes,
dangers
sir.
that are out there of
Oh yeah.
fighters, man. So I mean, fighters got to really be careful out there, really. And this is exactly one of the reasons why I want to do this show, just so that Hitman can share the experiences that he has had, man, in the sport of boxing, and and the amazing accolades he has, in the amateur career. So man, thank you so
Oh
much,
yeah.
Ogden. Also, Ogden has a YouTube channel, but it's on gaming. He loves gaming, and I like gaming too. So I constantly go on there and check his gaming out, so y'all can check him out. And as Ogden, and I'll leave the link in the description also of his gaming channel. Any last words, Ogden?
Oh man, other than, man, you guys stay safe and stay blessed, man. And like I said, if you guys are amateurs, or if you're looking to become a professional, and as I said, if you box, man, just take your time, man. Stay in the gym. Don't take the first fight that comes your way. Make sure that your body is built. Make sure that your mind is all mentally stable. Like, boxing is a mental game, man. It's all mentally. Okay, go in there, focus on what you gotta do first. Don't sign no stupid contracts like I did, and just focus on a manager. Like, focus on the manager that you can trust. Get a manager that you can trust. Let it be a brother, your uncle, your father, whatever. Just make sure that you can trust that person. But other than that, man, you guys have a safe and blessed rest of your weekend, man. And thank you, Renee Young, for having me on your show, man. It's a pleasure. And yeah, man, it's been wonderful.
Definitely, man. And I'll leave the information in the description. Once again, everybody who's tuning in, thank you guys so much. Everybody who jumped in the building, I thank you all so much, man. Renee Box Young, man. Tomorrow we're gonna get it up also with Reggie Owens and Curtis Anderson, the historian. We're gonna talk a little bit more boxing tomorrow, Lord willing. So definitely, man. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Stay safe,
All
everybody.
right.
Hey, can you stay on,
Peace.
Ogden, just for a couple minutes, right? Just stay on. Yeah.
Okay.